Hello, 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 and hello. I sat here trying to find a means to start this video off, but quite frankly, I'm not good at these pre-planning things. I'm more of a do it as I go, and I learn by just doing. So hello, I am new. I am trying to make ASMR videos while I show you just a little bit of sketching, just doing a little something I enjoy doing. Or, it's surprising, I haven't done it in a while. Just when you start to get older, you don't get the free time to sit down and just do something. Like, I enjoy my video games and whatnot, but video games don't hold a candle to, like, a physical talent. I can just draw stuff, and it's fun. So, I'll be honest with you, I haven't really planned out anything to talk about. So I guess I'll just talk about the drawing that I'm doing right now, as I'm actually watching it. I had to record me drawing at first before talking about it, mostly because this is completely new to me. I don't know how to edit or I'm not really good at talking about things while I'm doing something like that. I kind of get lost in the paper. I get I start seeing what I want to do, or not really seeing what I want to do. I just kind of follow along with the mistakes that I make. As you can tell, I'm not using any sort of guiding lines. I've tried to do that too many times, and it's just never worked out. Until I figured out that I can draw from the mouth a lot better. It allows me to gain proportionality to how I want to do it. What I'm doing right now is actually the first time I ever drew a black man's face. Oh, sorry. It was incredibly unique, mostly because I only have ever drawn more Caucasian people, and mostly because the paper that you draw on normally is white, so it's easier to draw a Caucasian person versus a blacker or darker skinned person, just because you have to get the skin tone correctly while also getting the shading down correctly as well. It was quite interesting. Now, the one thing that I've noticed about drawing, and one of the things I think gets a lot of people hooked up on, is the idea that what you're doing has to look exactly the way you put it on paper. You're thinking of an idea and you want to express that idea. The issue being is no one's perfect. No one has a perfect skill. No one has a perfect face. It's like, look at that. I'm erasing things. Working with the little mistakes that I've made in order to continue doing it. Continue the face. As long as I get it done, that's all that matters. It's when you give up that you don't have a drawing anymore. And it could be anything. I personally, right now, I'm being more inspired by more stoic looking men's faces. This won't be the last video I do, so you'll be able to see a lot of other things that makes me inspired. Even though its inspiration only comes from what interests you in the time. It changes as we change. But it's an interesting skill. So, pulling away from doing art, excuse me. Sorry, dealing with a bit of a cold. So, the one thing that I find very interesting about art is that if you just do it once, and then you do it again further down the line in your life, you are easily able to see a difference between the skill, how you were when you were younger and how you are when you are now. just a matter of refining it, learning what techniques give a better result. I decided to go with a cleft chin for this one, since I actually have a cleft chin too, but this is more like a cleft chin that the butt chin. And the funny thing is that I didn't actually expect this man to turn out to be a black man or anything. I just was drawing for the sake of it. Just going along and making whatever came to mind. Applying shadows where I thought would give the best detail to his face. In any case, back when I was younger in high school, I used to, or not even in high school, God, I remember back when I was in middle school. Was it younger than that? No, it was even in elementary school. 2nd grade, I was asked to join the art talent. And it's amazing because I looked at everyone else's stuff and I'm like, you're asking me to join art talent? Why? And the easy reply is, well, you're advancing really quickly in art, and we thought that you expanding your talent would be a good thing. And I was like, okay. Let's see, 2nd grade, I was like about 8 years old. What 8-year-old that knows what they want to do, really? But it's something that ended up persisting all the way up through middle school, up until high school. And it was a learning experience, though. As I started getting older, it just started losing less interest in the act of art. Oh, I thought the man needed a little bit of hardened look, so I gave him a small scar on his lip, something that's like shows that he did something, that there was something he's done, or there was a result of something. I don't know what it was. I was just trying to get detail on a face. But one of the things that I've noticed is just the act of doing something, the ever-present. You only have... the thing that a lot of people forget is we don't have a whole lot of time on this planet. And it's nice to be able to understand ourselves and understand where we are in relation to things, but not to get caught up in it. It's okay to not be like everyone else. It actually is good to be who you are, exactly who you are. And if what you're doing is not great for those around you, or if you're not even good for yourself, then I think then it's time to change things. Just recently I needed to do something a little bit different. But it's okay. Everything will always be okay. As long as I have my family and my friends, things will always work out. But the beauty of art, it allows you to express what's going on inside your head. Allows you to reveal what thoughts you're having, or at least it does for me. Maybe me drawing old men makes me feel, it represents how I feel on the inside, even though I am not an old man. Far from it. I'll be honest with you, one of the things that makes me... I've been told that I have a good voice for speaking, but I never felt like I ever had something worth listening to. But I guess might as well try, see if this ends up being... I am going for more of an ASMR style channel, more soft speaking. I'm not going to try too hard about it. If there's anything specific that you would like to hear or be talked about, then I'm open to hear ideas. Actually, this is around the time when I started deciding that it was going to be a black man, because the shading just worked out so well for it. A few interesting things is you don't have to be perfect about your line. We're just starting out. We're putting lines on the paper to get a grasp and a feel for how the man will look. Now you can draw a woman. Because I'm a man, it's easier for me to touch my face and gauge facial structure. It's a little bit harder for me to draw women because I don't have a frame of reference. I don't have a grasp of the depth of women. Where is the appropriate structure in order to show that it is indeed a woman? Another issue I have is I don't really see. It's hard to capture women's hair, where for a man it's actually quite easy. Either he's bald or he has stylistic hair. Or I can just go with messy. The nice thing is that this is actually going to end up being 2 different videos. This is only the first half. I very much enjoy balance within myself and a balance within the paper. For me, it's like a void of space that allows me to throw my idea against it, like a blast board. Right now I wanted to go for like the Fu Manchu look and show that on his upper lip it's shaved, but it's coming through a little bit. It's like he needs to shave his upper lip again. But yeah. So a few things about me is because I didn't go in with this with a script. This is the first video. It's going to be bad, but I could always improve as my art has. Realistically, one of the biggest things that I wanted to get out of this is constructing my thoughts, ridding myself of the likes, the ums, the uhs, and the ands. I wanted to be able to express my thoughts more clearly in language. And I think this is what I'm showing you a little bit of a close-up. See? None of the lines that I've done are particularly perfect, and eventually as the video goes on towards the end you'll see a few shading techniques that I do. I would always suggest using what is it? No, it's not a paper towel, it's a tissue paper. Soft tissue paper. Because it doesn't scratch. It's very, very soft. So it picks up I think it's graphite, but it picks up the graphite and moves it around a lot nicer. You also could tell that I'm using a normal yellow 2 pencil. I am by no means a professional artist. I actually really like the number 2 pencils just because over the course of my entire life I have ever drawn with a number 2 pencil. It's the thing that I always use. Oh, excuse me one second. The one thing that I always liked using was the number 2 pencil. Maybe it's because the eraser on it. A few other things you may see me doing is running my hand across the top of it. Not to brush away any sort of thing, but it allows me to sort of reset my idea. Just go ahead and if you want to go ahead and enjoy drawing with me as well, you're more than welcome. I would love to have people express their ideas and actually send it to me. That would be great. I love seeing people's arts. I love seeing the imagination of man. Humans are such a interesting thing. Oh, You'll see me stopping and reaching off screen. I'm actually sharpening my pencil. I got a electric sharpener from my granddad that I remember having or playing around with when I was younger. Unfortunately, he's dead now. Rest in peace, Granddad. What I was going for this face, I wanted something unique. I wanted something that really pushed my understanding of faces. Eventually, I think the next thing I'll do, the next art piece that I'll do, art piece makes this, if you know, I don't like attention. I actually don't like being noticed. Well, I do only with the people that I care about. Well, that's bad to say. People that I know in real life that I can see in front of me. I just don't like being noticed. But I felt like I need to see creativity. I want to see people express themselves through mediums that are like art, music. I'll be honest with you, I kind of want to see a new renaissance come out. Just the expansion of our understandings, our consciousness coming together, just this overwhelming sense of unity among men. Because that's all we got. We got ourselves and we got the community that we build around ourselves. As if we don't have that, then what else do we have? We have objects, we have possessions, we have things that can fill a void, but at the end of the day, it's the ability to touch another human being is more valuable than anything I've ever experienced. To know that there's someone there that's willing to hold your hand or willing to give you a hug. So, one of the biggest things that I try to make sure is to wipe off the eraser. It bothers me to have material on the paper as I'm drawing it. Because if let's say you brush your hand across the paper, well, the issue is your hand will actually drag the graphite across and cause it to start shading when you don't want it to be. So one of the biggest things is to gain a sense of control, pressure of the pencil against the paper, to be able. One of the biggest things I hear people say is, "Oh, I can't draw a straight line," and I reply with, "Neither can I." I don't know, like, I'm sure there's someone that can draw a straight line, but why do you need to draw a straight line? You can draw multiple lines trying to get a straight line and then take the best route to make a straight line. You don't have to be perfect. Nothing's perfect. I only know one perfect system, but that's a bit of a going into a lot of theology and understanding. Something I just can't fit into a 40-minute conversation with you. Even though you can't talk back. Sort of a hostage. I hope I'm doing okay so far. Again, this is just off the top of my head. I'm just trying to think of... So, one of the things that I like to go back to is I have a pet. I have a pet rabbit that gets to roam around and, gets to enjoy himself in my room. I'm a nerd. I enjoy myself. I enjoy anime and I enjoy video games. My Hero Academia, the one that can talk to animals. He has a rabbit in his room similar to me. And it's cute because where he decided to make his bed or where he sleeps is directly underneath me. Directly underneath my bed. It's fine. as long as you make sure that you clean up after them and you take care of them. There's also something else that I wanted to do is you'll find out that I am not going to be filling in the pupils, the irises. It's going to be a solid color of the background. I could talk about the philosophy of it, but I'll wait till the next video. And it's just me enjoying a little bit of coffee. Keep me going. I never realized how much I lean into my drawings. In fact, actually, you can't get a good perspective of how close I'm getting to the drawing. Depending on what kind of detail I'm going for, I'll be just a couple inches, like maybe 3 inches off the table, and just looking through my left eye just so I can get a zoom in on what I'm doing. Now, one of the issues I have, and if anyone has some sort of techniques to make ears, I'm very bad with the inside of the ear canal and everything that goes on the outside. Now, of course, I can look at a picture and copy it, but I like doing things from my own mind and then comparing it. Right now, I'm just showing the face to everyone because this is a very janky setup that I have for my camera. I had to just think of something off the top of my head and build it in order to even do this. The initial idea I had was terrible. I had it at an angle. You couldn't really see it too well. It was so bad. I hope my laughing isn't too loud for you. Just in the comments section, give me a heads up of what would you like to see. I plan on doing a little bit of like live streaming gaming. I could put up a few live stream gaming videos onto YouTube, but that's up to you. I'm okay with that. I got a lot of games that I bought that I don't play because I began to lose interest in playing games for merely myself. The idea of sitting there and you get the experience, but something about it I need to be doing it, the meaning behind it. I need there to be more of a meaning than just me having escapism. There's plenty of escapism in the world, and if, like there's one game I want to play called Soma. I really would like to play that game, but I would like there to be an audience to enjoy me playing it. I don't need a huge audience. I just would like to have people enjoying the experience with me and seeing how I think through things. Though, and some people would say that's a contradiction to what you just said. You don't like seeing people. Seeing people, it's weird. I don't like people watching me do things, but I figured I need to get over it, so I want to have people watching me do things. Just enjoying putting a little shit. Now I'm doing the other side of the face. It's tough, actually. You'll find there's one technique that I gained from going to college. The only A plus I ever got. It wasn't 100%, unfortunately, but it was like a 93. I'm a C range student. If you couldn't, I do not like school. I like learning on my own behalf, learning for my own reasons, not because a teacher told me I have to know something or a school tells me I have to know something. I think that's absurd. You should learn what you believe you need to know. Follow your gut instinct. That's what I always did. Because if there's anything you got yourself and you got your gut. And then after that, you got the people that you surround yourself with. Luckily for me, I chose the people that I surrounded myself with via my gut. And I got two friends that I ask couldn't ask for better friends. Actually, the one lives with me, which is funny. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of going over so one of the things a lot of people will say is to find your style, the way you do something, find what best suits you. For me, people would say that to me and I'd have no idea what they meant, mostly because I just didn't know what style I particularly liked drawing in, or because art is art. A paper and a pencil is a paper and a pencil. Which, by the way, I think eventually I'm going to do some charcoal drawings, though I don't have any charcoal. I might have to make some. That'd be interesting. But one of the things I found that I personally like to draw in is very rough, like unrefined style. It's most like a layering three different pressures, if you will. So going with a soft touch at first, and then adding layers to it, sort of like kind of like charcoal. Normally you need to get your base down and then you put the harsher lines on top of it. But I like leaving the soft lines in it too. It adds something to it I can't really explain unless I had it in front of my face. Now, this is just merely me drawing. I'm not someone that makes prints, or I just do it because it's fun.